how many people we're reaching because this is such an important topic, and some people think it's taboo, that it's embarrassing, and nobody wants to talk about it. But I'm going to stand here today and talk about it.
What about the walk?
Yes, the walk. That is actually why I wore my shirt today. The walk is not just one thing we do all year long. We do fundraising and different things all year long. The walk, though, is in September. It's on the 20th at Veterans Home at 9 a.m. It doesn't cost anything to show up. You can just show up and walk, or you can just show up and stand there. You can also donate. You can join a team by going to the ALZ website and join a team. Maybe there's somebody that you know. You could start your own team. And that way you can, they can help walk with you. If anybody in here is personally been, impacted by this horrible disease. So the walk in Alzheimer's is how we do afford research and free services. Everything that we do is free. We have an 800 number, and I'm getting a little bit.
That's okay.
We do have an 800 number, and it's master level clinicians that you speak to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. 2 o'clock in the morning. Your mother, your grandfather, your son, doesn't matter. If you have a question, you call that 800 number, and they will give you the information that they can. Also, let's see right here. I will leave.
Real quick, percentages are rising in the United States now, correct?
Yes, yeah. I think you can bring that up. It's all been hidden because people think, okay, they're just getting older. It's just a sign of them getting older, and that is a common misconception. It could very well be that somebody's just getting older. We all have memory issues, we forget, things like that, and it could just be getting older. But it is very important to get checked out with a neurologist or to see your primary care doctor first. And if they deem necessary to see a neurologist, then they can do some tests and find out. 7.2 million Americans, and I have to stress this, 7.2 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's. That is more people than breast cancer and prostate cancer kill in 1 year together. So breast cancer, prostate cancer together, Alzheimer's kills more people than that. That's a huge problem, and we've got to do something about that. And also, so 7.2 million Americans are living with it. Over 11 million people are unpaid caregivers. For example, me. I was an unpaid caregiver. I didn't need to get paid as my mother, of course. But there's a lot of people that do take care of their loved one or friends, anybody at home, and don't get paid for it. But we are here to help.
Now the question, you and I talk all the time in regard to this. For all of us, what are really the key identifying factors that you've seen from your experience of or do you need to go to a neurologist to get that diagnosis for Alzheimer's?
The diagnosis, yes. To start treatment, yes. Back in 2016, there wasn't any treatment per se. There was medications that kind of mask the symptoms and kind of help people with their memory. Now we are getting out there with these medications that are IV medications. We've got 2 approved so far that it can't take away the Alzheimer's, but as soon as you're diagnosed, you start those medications and it will slow down or stop the progression of the disease.
Just tell us a little bit about your personal experience with your mother. When did you come to the conclusion that this is Alzheimer's?
And me being a registered nurse, you think I would have picked up on it sooner. I'm very close with my mother. My mom and dad took care of them in their is not remembering who she used to. She's not being as active because she's a very outgoing person. She gets dragged into a conversation with anybody in an elevator, and just any stranger is not a stranger to her.
Unlike you.
Yes. No, but yeah, so she did start. It was brought to my attention because I was too close to the problem. I didn't see it, and her friend did, and said, "I noticed she's been acting this way or not this way." She's known her since high school, so. And my mom was 71 when she was diagnosed. She had the definitive moment, I guess, was when we said, "Okay, we got to do something." Is my mom was driving to my house. They had lived in their house for 50 years. She was driving to my house. She pulled over, called me crying because she had no idea where she was going. She didn't know. So I asked her what was around her, and I went and got her. And so she stopped driving at that point. We went to the doctor, went to the neurologist. It all happened very fast. They do memory tests on people to get the diagnosis because there's so many, and we'll get to that in a minute. There's so many different kinds of dementia. Alzheimer's is just one of them. It's the most common one. But yeah, my mom started forgetting where she put things, like where are my keys? They're usually sitting on a table. Okay, well maybe she put them on the counter this time. Okay, not a big deal. We all do that. Okay, but this time she put her keys in the freezer. That's not right. Something's wrong. And those are things that we're looking at is the memory problems are what start out first. And unfortunately this progresses in several different ways. And that's why doctor's care is very important to get to and find out what exactly is going on. And if it is old age, because I just turned 50, sometimes I have problems. So, everybody has issues with memory while they're, getting older, and in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And it could just be you're getting older. That's a normal part of aging. But on the other hand, it would be better to have it checked out because you could add years to your life.
I'm going to be the dumb guy in the room, but when you say Alzheimer's causes death, can you explain that to me, please?
Yes. I'll try not to get too much into the
That's
medical
okay.
part of it. But Alzheimer's is just one type of dementia. Dementia is an umbrella. You can picture an umbrella. Dementia is the umbrella. A lot of people think dementia and Alzheimer's are the same thing. Dementia is an umbrella of symptoms, or of the diseases. And Alzheimer's is one of them underneath the umbrella. And then you've got frontotemporal lobe dementia. And then there's also Huntington's disease, Parkinson's sometimes will present with those. But dementia is the actual umbrella of what we're talking about. Alzheimer's is just one of the things and the most common. What happens is there's amyloid plaques in your brain. This is what they're now finding out. And those amyloid plaques in your brain, if you picture your brain as a full brain in your head, and as Alzheimer's progresses, cells die in your brain. We don't know exactly how the amyloid plaques are doing this, but we're finding out. The more research we do, the more we're finding out how it's happening, so we can actually find a cure to stop it instead of slowing it down. The brain actually, when they do a PET scan, it's a scan of your brain. It's not an MRI, it's different than that. It would actually show your brain has shrunk. So it actually does have an impact on your brain itself in certain parts of your brain depending on which type that you have.
Does head trauma contribute to?
It can. It can, but that doesn't mean you fell off your bike when you were 10 and, okay, I'm going to have Alzheimer's later in life. That doesn't mean that. But yes, you are correct. There are actually several different ways, but that is one of them. Hitting your head. I hit my head all the time at work. That doesn't mean I'm going to have Alzheimer's. I hit my head daily. But yeah, a severe head trauma.
Is it genetic?
It can be. I know. My questions are, my answers are not quite can be another cause. Uncontrolled diabetes can be a cause that can lead to it. There's things that you can do to help prevent it from happening, or at least delaying it. But yes, it can be hereditary. And I would say, I'm not going to give a percentage, but a small percentage of it is hereditary. And knowing the signs of it and what you can do in your lives now, wherever you're at, whether you're really young or you're older, you can still do something about it.
Very good. So I'm looking at the walk. I'm going to use my man stroller, and I'm going to do the walk out of the soldiers and sailors home and Marines home. Maybe I have that. I think I would love to have Miss Liberty there with me to wear her crown and walking it down next to me so I don't fall down. But the walk is really to put you guys on the radar.
That is, yes. We do things all year long. I'm going to be having a fundraiser this summer. I'm a volunteer, so I don't get paid to do this. I do this because I really do want to help other people and find a way to stop this from progressing and anybody else. And I'm not going to stop doing this until it is done. That's when I will stop.
And that's what we pray for.
Yes, absolutely. And yes, so we do things all year long. The other day, it was Friday, Todd Langston, he's the manager of this area for the Alzheimer's. And him and I went to the Eagles Club, and we were up there. Jeff Dorsey was there, the mayor was there, everybody was there. It's a service club, and we spoke about all of this. And it's amazing how many questions we got about statistics and how to prevent it and what's causing it, what they can do to stop it. Anything, actually. If you show up for the walk, if you want to get a hold of Todd, I have his information. You can set up your own fundraiser.
You got everything on your website right there.
Yes.
Did Eric drop off your stuff?
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Todd, did Eric give that to you?
Yeah.
All right, so that's all your materials there. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, because he brought those. So I will have flyers and cards for Todd that he can be contacted as well on the podium on the way out, and also I have a cardboard box for monetary donations if you'd like to. You can also do that online, it doesn't have to be in person. And yeah, I'll move my head out of the way there. The bottom line there is where you can go to either sign up to walk, register to walk, which doesn't mean you have to pay anything, just register to walk with my team, which is Love Linda. Or if you want to donate, that's the other option on there. So there's the volunteer walk, and there's also donation. You can do both if you want to.
Very good. Is there a due date? What's your drop dead time?
No. Even that day, if you wake up that morning, you're like, I'm going to go. You just come. There's no dress code. You can, and the walk is, last year we did it around the Deer Park. So it wasn't even half a mile, if that. I'm not sure exactly which area we're using this year at the Veterans Home, but they graciously, are letting us use their area for the walk. And it is a really big deal. We have the small things that go on throughout the year, but then the big thing is the walk. We have a flower garden with pinwheels for whatever stage you're in dementia or your family member is in. Like I have a purple one because I lost my mother. It's a purple pinwheel. We have a garden that we set up. For anybody who you've lost or is going through it, or someone you know is going through it. But yeah, you can just show up that day if you want to. You don't have to donate. You don't have to do any of that. But if you do decide to, you can start your own team. If you're really passionate into it, and if you want to talk to me after this service, I'll be happy to talk to you and give you more information on, because it's very overwhelming. So it'll give you more information on how to be a part of it as much as you want to be.
Perfect, Amy. Thank you. You're gonna have all the flyers and everything out back?
Yes, I will, I'll have all that stuff
Outstanding.
in the back for people.
I can't thank you enough for coming and doing this, because it's important, especially as I deal with Sherry and Michelle, that we've got to really consider a lot of things that are going on. She said, "Make sure to eat." That's all I think of. No, I'm kidding. It's really important to me, because seeing what my dad went through
Yes.
with his mom, I know it's important to you because we talk about it all the time.
Yes,
And I think it's such an honorable cause that if we genuinely say that we're Christians, we care about people, then we're to be advised, and we're to be smart. And I'm just very grateful for you taking the time out of your way crazy busy schedule and coming out and talking with us.
well, thank you for having me. Like I said, I'll be available for any questions after the service. And then I'm going to put the flyers out back in there on the way out. I'm going to pick up a flyer, the 800 numbers on there, all the information for the walk, a way to get a hold of Todd Lamson, the manager, or me. I am now considered I am a volunteer, but I'm a community educator leader at this point. So I can answer some questions that you might have. If I don't know, I will put you to the 800 number to call and answer the questions. So.
Thank you, Amy.
Okay.
Great job. Really appreciate it. Again, that's important, because like I said, Sherry and I have our go-arounds on the budget, and so we just gotta figure stuff out, but I'm really thankful for it. Also, I think it's important that we as a church body, we are smart about things, because you all are gonna deal with different things through the course of your life, and if you're not educated about it, and you go into it being stupid, then it's not right. It's not morally right that we've got to be so equipped when we go out there and face these things. And I face more and more of them every day as I work with extended care facilities and people who just don't remember. And I want to be able to identify it. I want to be able to give them help, talk to the nursing staff, talk to the caregivers, et cetera, that I want you guys to be very well versed in everything I can possibly do. So, Amy, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Tell Derek